No, for some reason I always thought that Pacomike was Brazilian. I have no idea why, but I just always thought he was Brazilian.
Yeah, I know. I know he's Mexican, but I've played against him enough that I would be weird if I didn't. Paco, however, I will tell you, is oddly a derivative of the name Francisco. I'm not sure how Francisco turns into Paco. And Mike is the English version of Miguel. So it's likely his name is Francisco Miguel or something of the sort.
Oh my god, I love this. That is so cool. Because I would have never predicted that in a million years. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up his name right now.
Oh no, what if it's not? Well, if it's not, then he's playing off of those names for sure. Because those are the,
Full name, Francisco Rodriguez.
Oh, there's a middle name in there, and I bet it's Miguel.
Okay.
Or Michael, and likely that it would be Michael because it would be one name in Spanish and one name in English. But yeah, Francisco's Paco.
How? Can you explain this?
I have no idea. I have no idea how Francisco turns into Paco. Yeah.
Well, you learn something new every day, guys. And today I've learned that Francisco turns into Paco. Apparently he's going for a relatively normal opening here, which is Cybercore before Nexus, Pylon on the low ground as well, and he even scouted, so he's not even trying to be a greedy boy. But it does really help out a lot to scout in this matchup, because you want to see if there's a reactor being built, you want to see, well, he left too early for that, but you just make sure at least there is an expand. And especially with Kelazhur, you never know, right? We know that Kelazhur is no stranger to building buildings outside of his main base.
Yeah, especially this bunker. I feel like it's one of his signature moves for like the last 9 years or something. Like he's consistently seen value in both matchups.
And does get in the main base, picks up 2 kills already. Obviously the Reaper was there as well. I think it's going to be a Colossus. I feel Disruptor would be very weak in defending drops, and I think that even an 8 Marine drop could kind of kill you, but we'll see. Colossus or Disruptor, Pacomike, Francisco.
Francisco! It's gonna be a Disruptor. And the Warp Prism upgrade as well to fly faster. I think the Disruptor is better aggressively, but I'm with you. Defensively is where we could see the cracks here. So I would love to see a Colossus follow up, perhaps. But we'll see what Pacomike has in store.
He is horribly out of position to deal with a mine drop. This is going to hurt. I mean, you can pick up some probes, I guess. Okay.
It's also the Disruptor.
The response is good.
Yeah. Against a player like Kelazhur is a very difficult thing to do, and also sucks that he got scouted as early as he did. So on the side of Pacomike, taking 3 more probes worth of damage, he's maybe falling a little bit behind on account of not finding anything with the Warp Prism and the investment into the speed as well.
Yeah, this opening really did not work out at all. Kelazhur is going to go up to 3 bases while moving out, so command center being built on location. Kind of shows the confidence that Kelazhur has here. And this is already going to be a pretty difficult push to deal with. We do have Blink Stalkers. We do have still 2 Disruptors out as well. So if we can get a couple of M-canning Novas up in this, you know what, then there's a good chance that this game will go on. But the Novas are going to have to be good. Otherwise, Pacomike is in trouble. And he's losing more probes in the main base to that Widowmine.
Yeah, beautiful scan for Kelazhur, knowing not to chase if the Disruptors are there. And indeed they are. So Kelazhur already in a very good position. It's going to be difficult for Pacomike to push this back as he gets set with his shield batteries and Disruptor Shot. Oh, Disruptor Shot is actually going to land on a few units there. A few too many. Is there a Colossus on the way? There isn't. There's another Disruptor on the way.
We're going full and canning up in here. I mean, a Super Battery is trying to do whatever it can, but eventually even a Super Battery can't out-heal the Terran army. Forward Blink as well dives on top of the tanks. But Stalkers don't deal very well with Stim Bio, especially now that there are 5 Marauders in the mix. And I think this Nexus is really dead. And Todd, who just finished his Warcraft 3 game, and today tweeted in German, which kind of excited me actually, is telling us to look at the supply, and the supply does not like us.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, that Blink was kind of a desperation move. I would have liked to see it timed with the Disruptor Nova, right? So that at least you blink on forward and force the Marines to move across or away where you can maybe snipe the tank and get out with the Stalkers. But instead, all of the Novas are used at that point, and the Stalkers kind of just blink into their death, and Kelazhur is just way too solid, way too clean, takes no damage from the Disruptor investment and the Speed Warp Prism investment, and this is just, yeah, this is just it, I think.
Yep. These kinds of builds are probably not going to get it done. That Nexus is, well, actually almost going to fall immediately, but it doesn't really matter. Interference matrix.
Comparatively, right? Like those large rocks for siege tanks, essentially. Either way, we're gonna see a very similar map indeed. And in the top right-hand side, it is the Brazilian Terran Terror. It is Kelazhur. I don't hear the music anymore.
In the bottom left side, we're looking at the main base of our Mexican Protoss player. He plays a ridiculous amount of ladder games. He's closing in on 500 already this season. It is Pacomike.
Or Francisco Miguel.
Well, we haven't confirmed the Miguel part yet.
That is true. That is true.
Like, he could have no middle name, but he's just like, damn, it must not happen.
Yeah, that is something that I really like, but I also really often die to a lot of two-base all-ins. I'm not sure if Mana had the right idea, just dropping production before taking that third, if he anticipates the all-in. That said, Kelazhur going for the same tactic as last time, but this time around, Roddy, there's also going to be a Liberator to be extra annoying.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but I think with Blink Stalkers, you should have a much better time in defending. It is important he keeps chrono boosting that Twilight, and that is exactly what Pacomike is doing. Is that a full wall of in the natural as well?
Yeah, and he's gonna spot the medevac with a big heads up thanks to that probe. But will he react? He hasn't seen it. All right, reacts just in time. So the mines are not gonna find any damage for the time being. The 1 million tries to run in.
Oh, don't send your probes back. He left one behind. Okay. This is already a lot of damage though, Cats. Like, I know people think like, oh, it's just a single probe or maybe 2 probes, but if you lose this amount of mining time in this phase in the game, you're gonna have a very hard time dealing with the first proper push.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's the blink about to finish, and you would love for Pacomike to move out, but it's so difficult to move out when this medevac is still around, and now there's gonna be a Liberator as well, so Kelazhur looking to hit him on both sides at the same time. This is more or less what
this really does start adding up. There's a good chance that Pacomike will still get up to 6 to 8 gates, gets Zealots with charge as well, and okay, we actually have a Robo Bay too. I didn't even see that he got a Robo Bay, so he's got a little bit of everything. I'm just kind of afraid that he's not going to be able to deal with the first proper bio push, because if you look at what Kelazhur has in his main base, that is a very powerful army, and that's not going to get stopped by 3 or 4 random Zealots with charge that don't have any armor upgrades.
Yeah, it's indeed going to be difficult. To the good for Pacomike, at least there is this observer that has spotted the medevac also moving back, and now we'll scout Kelazhur move. And there's the super battery, the Colossus, very, very well timed on the side of Pacomike. Might just be enough to defend this, and he has blink as well, so Kelazhur can't so easily just blink or just load and leave. Pacomike has to pay attention that this is one of the plays that Kelazhur has at his disposal, and there it is. Pacomike, react! You knew this was coming.
Wow, really good defense, to be honest. I think if Kelazhur didn't throw his way, his Liberator the way he did, like, he should have sent that Lib into the natural while this push was happening. But great job there by Pacomike. That was not an easy defense, and obviously the overcharged battery.
Have tips?
Yeah, stay on 2 gases and make nothing but Zealots, baby. A moving 8 hard.
All right. Oh, there's the blink available. But again, a little bit slow on the reaction, and now it's spent. Those mines don't have a way to be cleared out, as there is no observer out right now. And Kelazhur dropping on the main is going to be able to get ripped potentially one of this Colossus. Oh, no. And that is a top loss.
Yep. Colossus are a bit derpy. To give a more serious answer to your question, I really think it's just practice, and obviously you need multiple control groups, but you need to talk to Showtime about that kind of stuff. Not me. That Widow Mine shot could have really hurt. It didn't in the end, but obviously these are great trades for Kelazhur across the board. My biggest issue with the way that Kelazhur, excuse me, yeah, that's a good shot as well. 5 more probes go down. Pacomike is doing too many things at once. Like, he's building a lot of gateways, which is like, you want to play mass gate? And he's like, no. You want to play mass stalker Zealot? He's like, well, I get blink and charge, but no. It's like, okay, if Colossus opening, that's good. Colossus into Immortal, he's like, no, no, no. Templar Archives, double Forge right now. Let's get some Storm going. It's just, it's too many things at once.
Yeah, I completely agree. And now he's morphing the Templars into Archons, so the Storm is gonna kind of go to waste to a good degree, right? And I don't mind this because Archons are so very strong as well, and you have Disruptors to also micro, so there's definitely that overlap where it becomes a little bit more difficult to use both the Storm and the Disruptors. But now Kelazhur has such a huge army, and with the investments for Pacomike being so diverse across the board, it's going to be difficult to hold. This Disruptor does not connect.
Yeah, that one Liberator setting up is going to make his life a lot easier as well. That means the Zealots are going to have a very hard time. That's a good storm, though. That does connect with a lot of the bio units. And fighting in range of a battery, I thought that Kelazhur would have learned his lesson about the fighter earlier. But you really do have to disengage. You got to respect the battery, Sketch.
Yeah, and he also spent all of his Widow Mines on a weird flank, so he doesn't have them to fall back to if, say, Pacomike manages to get enough Zealots out, which is a little bit concerning for Kelazhur. That said, it's mostly Stalkers on the side of Pacomike. Oh, there's some Zealots.
Gonna wipe in a few more Zealots. He does have 2-2 upgrades on the way, and if those would finish up, then I actually start believing in his chances. But right now, his army really isn't that strong, and if it wasn't for those batteries, he'd be in a lot of trouble. I love how he's just casually sneaking in a fort base in the bottom right side. No, stop attacking the rock base. You're losing a Colossus. Oh, no.
Oh, very well done by Kelazhur, identifying that if Pacomike is not looking at that point in time, he can snipe the Colossus for free. That's exactly what he does, and that was the backbone of the army. The Vikings are now being landed. The Marauders are too strong and pushing on forward. And this is looking grim now for Pacomike. Where is the next Colossus? There is 3 Templars and a Colossus, but there's not much left to defend here.
The Liberator does finally go down. That Liberator had like 10 kills. He got so many shots off. It was an MVP Liberator. I mean, Pacomike is trying to do whatever he can. With a couple of extra war pins, he's going to push his army back. But make no mistake, guys, Kelazhur is very rich. And the Terran stream of units will never stop. This one is pretty much over. I got to say a better game by Pacomike, but just a little too ambitious, you know, a few too many plans at once.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. He could have had a few